What's going on, everybody? I want to welcome you back to another episode of Focusing on the Soul of the Entrepreneur. I'm your host, Ralph Walker. And just as every episode is a special episode. And again, we have Zayn with us today. It's no longer a guest. He's just part of the show now. He's here to deliver as much wisdom and guidance as he sees fit, and we're just always happy to have him. How you doing, Zane?
I'm great, brother. I'm great. Beautiful things are afoot, and I think today's going to be real special. So I'm glad to be part of it.
See, you already started with the soft voice already, man.
Oh no, so we should end it.
You already started with the soft voice. You already started the soft voice. So I'm already excited. Just about. Sounds like you got something already brewing on the inside of you that you're ready to let out, and I'm ready to hear it. This is part 2 of gifts and purpose. Okay. And I think we already recorded this episode once, and it kind of went all over the world and brought back to a certain space. And this time around, we're gonna center it just a little bit better. And I want to just start off by saying that. Reiterating that your gift and your purpose, they operate, or at times they operate separately, with different functions, but they work at the same time simultaneously. I know that's the same as that word, but so they're simultaneously working, but they have 2 different functionalities. Okay, and I want to break down the difference, and also kind of help people understand that the purpose just finds you, and your gift is, I would like to say, is what you kind of realize that you have, because you already have it. It's just that you got to realize that it is a gift. What's your understanding? What's your take on that?
I appreciate you asking. It's real simple for me. That there's an old philosophy that form follows function, and I think we're using synonyms here. Yet the form is your gift, and the more you get to know yourself, the more you become aware of what gifts you have. So certain things that, for example, are easy for you, like say web design, are incredibly challenging for me. I mean, I can code in HTML, yet what you do in probably an hour, it would take me a couple months. Little different, right? Yet, say the gift of gab, or seeing somebody's spirit and speaking to it, is something that comes easy for me, and that's a gift of mine, and that's the form that's come in. The gift is the form, and the function that shows up is people find me along the way to offer mentorship, guidance, counsel, and the same with you. You have attracted a myriad of clients in that realm, and now in your gaming truck, right? As you've developed businesses, you have a gift, you have a form, the capacity for creating sustainable business models. Fair enough. So your purpose is to leverage that. The function that comes out of that is your purpose. So I use different terms, and that's why I feel like last time we kind of chased the cat in the dark in the room. Um, yet nevertheless, I mean, if I look at it, because I was sitting here thinking, like, why are we missing each other here? Why? Because I see where you have a lot of overlap with your definitions. Yet if we go into just form and function, just form and then function, your form is your gifts, and as you get to know yourself more, your form comes into light more and more, and your purpose it's an emergent property that comes out of that in knowing yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it resonates. But so I want you to break down this, so break down the form of a gift again. Like, make that a little bit plainer when you say, obviously. So matter of fact, not the form, but break down the function. So what do you believe the function of a gift is, and what do you believe the function of the purpose is?
The function of a gift and a function of a purpose. Okay, a gift to me in this moment feels like and seems like something that is inherently true about you as a personality, as a persona, given your experiences, whatever myriad of concoctions has gone into this to create. Whether you've gone through, I don't know, severe abuse as a child to then become hypersensitive that then allows you to become more of a healer. I don't know, just example in here. That's a gift, right? You've gone through hell to come out the other side and be like, oh, this was a gift. Now, how you leverage it, how you put it to use is your purpose. Now, could that be guided? I often find it does, right? So, for example, I was doing a lot of one on one coaching and I was noticing that people weren't meeting me at my price point. So I was always kind of lowering it, right? That just kept happening over and over again. And then I thought about it and I was like, maybe I'm not making the big enough impact that I could. So my purpose is actually to help more people at a lower price point, right? So it's changed dramatically. The vision, the capacity. Instead of helping 5 people, say in 6 months, I'm looking at helping millions of people instantly, right? So the turn, that purpose is ever evolving. I don't feel like we always have just one purpose, right? Your purpose to your wife is very different to your purpose to your kids, and yet your gift remains the same. So you have the ability to create structure, right? I'm not even talking about business, just structure, right? You have the ability to create structure. So as you do it as a website, whether you do it in a gaming truck, whether you do it for your wife and her enjoyment, whether you do it for your kids and their evolution, right? There's no big difference in your gift. Your gift is still your gift. You have the ability to create structure. And yet the purpose is vastly different with each person. And yet it's still coming. If you zoom out wide enough, you'll see it. It's a lot of love. It's all to support their experience to have a more profound, loving, expansive experience. So whether that's the client you're working with on the website, whether that's the client you're working on the game truck, whether it's your wife, whether it's your kids, you just want the people that you are showing up to love to have a bigger and better experience. That's your purpose. Is that the end of the episode? Can we
I'm going. I'm. So I look at it just a little bit different.
I know. Go ahead. What do you got?
So you said something about zooming out because we did almost I almost went there with you. Like I'm like, man, that was probably it right there. But no, I'm gonna zoom it back out again, right?
Okay.
Because this is the part where we can. I believe, and you say it's not just linear. In a zoomed out scope of it, if I think it is a little bit linear.
Sure.
Okay, okay. I'll put it like this: we got a vision of a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got the big main vision, the end all be all for the vision of but then we got our 3 month, 5 month, 6 month goals, right? And so those purposes are a little bit different in the small grants or the small theme of how the business part of you at, but all of those small things lead up to this one major aspect of the vision, right? And so so you mentioned something about being a father and being a husband, and that yes, my purpose of how I interact with my wife and how I handle my wife is clearly different from how I handle my children in the way that I engage with my children. Yes, but the purpose of it all is to be able to lead my family and be as a almost like a I hate to use this word or this term like this because I don't want it to box it in so tight, but to lead my family in a godlike way, and that I bring my family and I lead my family back And also, I don't want to call it like we're like on some like we're like in someone's camera being viewed or anything like that. But you are an example. You are an example of what a godlike family it looks like or what it represents. You are an example of what a God fearing husband represents in a God a man chasing after God. And I don't want to call it chasing after God because God is within us, but exuding His presence and His light. We are examples of that. We are examples of those moments within our family that we exude Christ and we exude God to our family, so that when they get their own families and they start their own adventure, that they have an example of what that looks like. They have they seen it and experienced it at home. And so again, this is small view of within this realm of our function. And I'll say this: the gift, even in that, the gift is being the husband. That's a gift. Just to be able to operate in that, that's a gift. And then, or being a father, it's a gift. It's a gift. It's being able to do that is a gift. But then the purpose is that we lead our families in a godlike example, so that they can take that understanding and operate in it as well when they get into those positions at some point. And so, just when I look at everything, so like I told you this the story in the Bible about the talents, right? And the talent was that God had gave 3 people talent. Okay, in that day and time, the talent was gold, and He told them to take this gold, take it to the market, invest it, and bring me back the difference. And when you do that, I'll expand your territory, right? So I give you more. And so one of the 3 people didn't do it. They took their talent, they hid it in the ground, and then he went back to God, and God said, "Man, where's the talent? What did you do?" He said, "I hid it," right? And so, and there's multiple reasons. This is a whole different episode of why he hid it, because now you're dealing with insecurities, you're dealing with comparison, you're dealing with all the things of why you're not, or why you think you're not valuable enough. And we're gonna deal with that in a whole nother episode, because we could stay right there for 2 hours just talking about that right there alone. But the thing was, the biggest part of that is not even recognizing the value that you have in the moment, and we despise it because it may be small. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's what you're saying is you're hiding your gifts.
You're hiding your gifts. And so which means that God gives you gifts first, and then you find purpose. Like
Or maybe the purpose finds you.
the purpose. That's the whole point I'm trying to find. That's the point I'm trying to lead to, is that once you find your gift, your gift finds you. I mean, your purpose finds you, and your purpose. I believe this. I believe that your purpose always is the function of purpose, and this is one. You may say I'm wrong about this, but I believe purpose always is your opportunity to continue to shine the light that's from within, that leads someone back to God, and being that example of who you are, of who God made you be, to become who you are. And your gift brings you the recognition. Your gift is what makes you money. Your gift is what allows you to do what you do, but your purpose expands you.
Okay. Are you ready?
Let's go. Here we are.
Let's go.
You said a couple fun things that I just peeked on. You said God-fearing.
Listen, man. I know you got to go pick on that. I said, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Just dancing with you. Just wondering what a God-fearing life looks like versus a God-praising life. That's it.
You're 100% right. I'm not about to argue with that.
I'll leave that alone. And then, so my question is, how big is your family?
How big is my family?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a trick question?
Nope. How big is your family?
It's 6 of us.
Okay, that's your immediate family. How big do you consider your family? 6 people, and that's it?
No, I thought you were talking about my household. That's why I said it's a trick question, man.
That's not a trick. I'm just asking how big.
No, it's pretty vast, man. I think that you're my family.
I consider you.
I consider that. I consider. I don't consider a lot of. Oh man, this is now. Nope. I don't even. Nope. I'm actually scared. I'm scared to answer that question, man, because I think it's a trick. I think it's a trick question. To be honest, I think you're trying to trick me. No, okay.
It ain't Halloween yet, but
Okay.
Okay. First, answer this for me so I can answer that.
okay.
Who are we considering family, and what are we defining as family?
Well, you said, if I'm not mistaken, I'm just reiterating. You just said I am here to be a leader, to God, like a godlike leader, to lead my family. And I'm just asking, who you leading? Are you leading just the 6 of you? You leading the 600?
So I was when I said that I was really going off of what you were talking about when it came to a father and a husband's purpose. That's what as a father and a husband, that is your purpose. But as a whole, and that depends on the platform that God wants you to be on and who he intends. Like, I'll say this, man, and I'm okay with saying this public. I know that God has set me to be a titan for a certain group of people. I'm not saying that other people won't be influenced by me or won't have some type of relationship to a degree where they're inspired and want to make things happen for themselves. But I do believe I am chosen for a group of people with these particular. God gave me a target audience, if you may. Okay, so I have a target audience. I have a target group of people that I know that I am created to help lead and push in a different direction.
Sure, I can get on board with that.
So are they my family? Not yet. But they will be. I mean, we are all connected in some way, and so it's the same thing with you. Like the people that you come in contact with and you help, because I'm connected to you, that 6 degree separation, I'm connected to them as well. And all it takes is a small, like, hey, Ralph, I want you to meet blah 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 blah, and the connection is made, and that's across all the people that you come in contact with. So yes, you are supposed to be a beacon. Your purpose as a whole is just to be a beacon as we travel in life, as we operate in our gifts, as we operate within purpose. The purpose is to be that example, be that light that pushes, that directs someone closer to the light, which is God.
I can get with that. Okay. So now what I'm going to convey is something a little different. You talked about linear thinking versus nonlinear thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Linear thinking is you can ideate linear thinking to words, right? We read the words left to right to left, depending on what you're reading, if it's English, Arabic, or up and down if you're reading Japanese. It's a line, right? It's linear. Yet when somebody gives you a message that's linear, I love you so much and I care about you, does that just mean that line? Or is it just so much more profound? See, the mind that we've been trained to, that we've been indoctrinated with, for most of us, is learned linear, A plus B equals C. But your 1 plus 1 has equaled 6. You got little people. Your 1 plus 1 plus maybe another 2 or 3 has equaled helping thousands, whether that's the experience of a website or experience of a game truck or whatnot. See, this is not linear. Life is not linear. We have been taught to think linear. And that's where I challenge you. Because it's kind of like, what's the average height of somebody in the NBA? 6 something?
Yeah, 6 something, like 6'1", 6'2", something like
Okay. You remember Muggsy back in the
Yeah,
day?
with those.
Jordan. Yeah. So Muggsy was 5'3".
that. Right. Was he 5'3" or 5'8"? Was he 5'3"?
Now he was 5'3", boy. He did not have the gift of height. He was vertically challenged. And if he's listening, I'm sorry. Well, must be good about you too. Yet he had the energy, he had the dream to be more than. And that's where the gift and the purpose, the linear idea of gift and purpose don't align for me. Because we can have circumstance. I'd be 5'3". I might not be able to dunk, but hell, he had 14 seasons. 14 seasons in the NBA. So, yes, you have certain gifts, and yes, you have certain talents. And when you are struck by divine guidance, when you are struck by this burning desire, this passion for more, and that's why I asked you how many people are in your family. Because if you said, "Hey, I got 8," hang on, let me love on you. Let me love on you. If you said there were 8 billion people in my family, and I'm here to make a difference in each one of their lives, whether directly or indirectly, there's a lot more energy in that statement, right? And you kind of went into protection, like, "Oh, this is a trick." And I wasn't trying to trick you. That wasn't where I was coming from. I was coming from a position of what's bigger? What's bigger than even you, right? What's bigger than even your dream? There's a bigger purpose that you've incarnated for. Yes, there's gifts that are evolved. And equally, having that burning desire could also be a gift, even if you are vertically challenged. You follow where I'm going with?
Yeah.
So I'm yielding to your position of leading because I was on the train yesterday, right? And there was a woman who was struggling with some luggage, and I was about to turn and get it. She was about 2, 3 steps away from me, and then another dude grabbed the luggage,
Okay.
right? And if it was my wife, if it was my daughter, I would have treated her just the same. You follow?
Yeah.
So in that moment, was she someone different or was she part of my family? And even as we walked down the steps, just like he was my son, I turned back to him and I said, "That was nice of you, man. That was really kind and thoughtful." And he's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "There's not a lot of good men like that. Not a lot of good men, especially where I'm at right now in the world. There's not a lot of men who are considerate enough to consider, hey, this person's struggling, let me help." So how big is your family? And I feel like the more people that we encompass with our mission, our message, our love, the more energy flows in because it flows right back out, right? It's like money. If we talked about that last time, you're not building so you can just have this bigger nest egg. You're building so you can influence bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right.
You follow where I'm going with it?
Yeah.
So I challenge you to attempt to break the linear thinking model because it's kind of like when you and I met. You even said it. I don't know why did I want to help you? I don't know. It just felt like there's some potential here. I want to love on these guys. Maybe I spent the night at the girlfriend's house and I didn't come home that night. Never met you.
Okay. So let me interject in there then. Okay. So I don't think that it's extremely linear, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
So there's gonna be some young men that I'm gonna come in contact with one day, right? And this is the beautiful part about life, and this is where I'm open at too, because I know that I'm not meant to help every single person, right? And this is the reason. I'm not saying I'm not gonna help a lot of people. I'm not saying I don't want to help everybody. I just know that that's not for me, and I'm gonna tell you why. And this is kind of the linear. This is a linear direction it goes into. Is because we all have different stories and different backgrounds and different paths that we started at and where we're going that communicates to a particular person, right? And this is a beautiful space about where we're at, and this is also beautiful of me and you even connecting, because even though we came from different backgrounds and I don't want to say fully different beliefs, I would like to say that that there are different perspectives that lead to the same exact thing in a way, is that I can't communicate thoroughly, and not saying that I would never be able to, but have you ever heard of Wallow and Gilly? You ever heard of those guys? Okay. So Wallow and Gilly, they have a podcast called $1 Million Worth of Game, right? Wallow is Gilly's cousin. Gilly they both from Philadelphia, and Wallow went to prison for 20 years, right? He was in the streets. He done a ton of things that obviously led him to go to prison for 20 years. And he went in really, really young, came out older. And he's been out now for about, I think, almost 10 years and has made a hell of a transformation of his life, right? And to the point that he's grown an extremely large, him and his cousin have grown an extremely large, very heavily influential podcast. And this is the thing. The people that he influences directly, and not indirectly, but directly, are people that I don't have a story or background to influence. And not saying that I won't be able to influence them indirectly from just some words or maybe a moment of something, but to be able to relate to the stories of somebody being in jail, or relate to the person who's gone to bed with the ribs touching each other. Like, I don't have that story. I can't connect to that, right? Not saying that I can't have any sympathy or anything like that, but I'm gonna be sitting there listening to you like, what? That happened? You get what I'm saying? And so when again, back to target audiences, and this is the reason why, yes, we are all family, we're all connected, but who are we directly affecting is where I'm at. And again,
That's great. You actually just said it. You are valuing direct more than indirect.
Yeah.
So
is that wrong? You think that's wrong?
I'm just saying that the world is more beautiful when you value everything equally. If people value life more than death.
Why do you look at it as I'm valuing it more than one of the ways, versus me looking at, I hate to use this word because I know that you're gonna trip on this, but staying in my lane and operating at my fullest capacity in this lane. And if you are affected by this, and it helps you, and you're in a different space, I'm all for that too. That's what I want to. It's all equal to me. It's just that I can't speak directly to other lanes because I haven't experienced those spaces, and probably will never experience those spaces. And so so intuitively, I value a person being changed, period. But it's from my message. So if my message affects you one way or another, I am extremely elated and happy that I could be a part of that experience for you. So wait,
there it is. My message and my experience. So if you're not the giver of the message and you don't know that I have it, it's that old saying, if the tree falls in the woods and nobody's around to hear it, doesn't make a noise. It's the same concept.
Okay, how?
It's energetic, and I don't. There's stories of like people who are they're about to jump off a bridge, right? They're about to go commit suicide, and they're just walking, like they're walking toward the bridge. The end of their life is near. They're about to jump, and somebody just smiles and says, "Good morning." Okay, that's direct, but just being recognized allows that person not to jump that day, right? We don't know the effect, right? I'll give you another story that's actually personal. I was moving, right? And moving across the world. And I had all this furniture and I was getting driven crazy by Facebook Marketplace. People asking me, does the lamp work? It's a $10 lamp. Does it come with the bulbs? Yes, it comes with the light bulbs. Like, just come pick up the damn lamp. And I was at my wit's end and I said, show me a sign. I would love my furniture. It's really good stuff. Let me just find a home for it. And I saw this truck go by and it says Laura's house. And it was this domestic violence, rehab situation where they donate the furniture. And I said, oh, okay, well, cool. Perfect timing. Just thought about this. And there's a sign. I called. They're like, hey, for $350, we'll pick up everything you got. We'll take it out, tax write-off, blah, blah, blah. All things. Great. And yet I don't know who I've touched with that furniture that is now not in my possession. It's gone, right? I have done the thing. I've done it with love. It's been infused. All the things that I gave away, nothing was janky, broken. I loved everything I had. And if I could move with it, I would have. And yet it was time for it to go. So I gave it away with love. And it's the same thing I'm saying here. When you infuse your product, your service, your essence comes to life in everything you do, then everybody you touch. So even if you smile at the driver who's pissed off next to you, all of a sudden, they don't beat their wife that night. They're nicer to their employees, whatever, right? I'm expanding this. Yet you don't even understand the impact that we individually have at a collective level. And that's what I'm attempting to convey.
No, I'm in full agreement with you. That statement is perfect, but you're not giving away furniture every single day, right?
I'm giving love away. I'm giving
that's
the point I'm trying to make right there. Who you are is who you are, no matter where you're at.
Sure.
And every opportunity that you get to give that, you will. And that's the point I'm trying to say too, is that we, even right now, this is another opportunity to give love to someone who doesn't understand what their gift is, right? This is an opportunity who's to someone who's operating in their gift, but then they're saying, man, I don't know what purpose looks like. I don't know what that feels like. And maybe they haven't came in contact with it, but I want to rest assured that, look, it's going to find you. You're going to literally, remember, I don't know if you ever remember that website, but you ever remember this website called Stumble Upon? Oh, so it was literally like the old Explore page. It was just things you just stumbled upon. You didn't search for anything. You just stumbled upon it. It was a really cool concept, and they took that concept and put it into social media where you don't know what you're getting ready to look at next. You're just stumbling upon things. And so the point I'm trying to make is that our purpose. Our purpose is always in love, and always an opportunity for us to showcase and breathe life onto someone that can make their day a little bit better, right, and make their life go forward. For an example, man, I was cold plunging, and this lady, she was having a hard time inside the cold plunge. And she was like, how are you guys just doing this? And I said to her, just fully commit. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, you got half your body out of the water, and then you're uptight like this. So half your body is getting what it needs. The other part is in stress. Like fully commit. It's like, if you fully commit, your body would just be one at that point. And when you do that, you're basically telling yourself how much control you really do have. And it's not about, people say they get into cold plunge for recovery of their muscles and all that stuff. That's cool, but it's the mental clarity that you're going to get, and when you realize how much power, how much real control that you really have. And when you're sitting in there and you're putting yourself through something that's really uncomfortable and finding comfort in your discomfort, like you've mastered something, and you continuously do this. You mastered something. You mastered your mind, and not saying that it gets easy or anything like that. But what happens is that you take control of the fact that you know what's going to happen, and that you're submitting and you're committing to this process no matter what. And that when you come out of it, you're proud of yourself. You know how much clarity you're gonna have after feeling just simply being proud of you. And she was like, that's amazing. That
We've had a different cold plunge experience, but okay.
you don't like it?
No, I got a pretty bad story about a cold plunge.
Oh wow, I gotta hear that. But I love cold plunging, man. I listen. I love it.
Really good for it.
It really is, dude. I mean, the 3 minutes just in there is amazing. I can't. Dude, I recommend it for everybody. If you could find a moment to go cold plunge and just sit in it, shoulder deep, not halfway in, shoulder deep, everything in. Don't leave your fingers out. Your whole body needs to get what it needs to get in those 3 minutes. And it's your mind too. Once you get out, is the results are pretty instant. But you're ready to go again afterwards. And she really appreciated it. And the point I'm trying to make is that that's another form of showing love to someone and moving somebody closer to the light. But no, my purpose is anywhere. But there is a functional place where it constantly operates at. And what I mean by that, okay, yep, I know you. Okay, watch this. Okay, you ready? I'm about to give you an example of that. Okay, you ready? I'm not saying that you can't operate anywhere, but there's a platform of where it fully operates at, like where you can find this at. For an example, we're doing this podcast, right? We're using this as a platform to fully operate in purpose at a mass level, right? And so at any point, somebody can come to this platform and get inspired by us having these conversations. This is our purpose, not just by happenstance, however you pronounce that. Happenstance, just happening, like the cold plunge. It just happened. It was organic. It wasn't looking for it. It just happened. But this is focused. This is planned. This is no, but we planned this moment
I agree.
to do this. And that's the point I'm trying to make, is that this is the platform in which we do it on. Not saying that we don't value the cold plunge moments, and that we don't value just being at the coffee shop and having the opportunity to express it when we're not expecting it. It's just that this is the dedicated space for it. And that's what I'm talking about. And that's what I mean by our target audience. God gives you a target audience because you have a dedicated space where this is expected from you. And that's what I'm trying to deliver. It's not that I don't value having those moments just talking to people randomly. I had one just the other night. A guy came over to the house to look at the game truck and figure out what we need to get fixed on it and whatnot. And it turned into a whole business seminar of me giving advice on how to scale and how to do certain things and what to look for and all those different. Those are beautiful moments of me help somebody for free too. So for somebody to come in and me help them, guide them in what all the knowledge that I already know, knowing that for a fact, if you did this is what's going to happen. This was my opportunity to help somebody, to move somebody forward and move their family forward and give them inspiration and motivation to change for themselves. Does that make sense? So it's not that I value those moments. I just have a dedicated space where, in a dedicated group of people that I am on a path to help for sure.
I agree.
Okay.
All right, I'm done.
I love you. Do you want the big one, or do you want the little picture first?
I got another story too, but go ahead.
All right. So the difference between you and I is very simple, and you'll remember this from our coaching from decades ago. You came to me with chaos. You had this going on, that going on. I don't know how to get between from here to there. Okay, cool. So what did we do? You went through a little bit of a structure with me, and then after 6 months, you had more stability in your system and more abundance of awareness, And then I said, off you go back into the chaos. You'll figure it out. Kind of threw you back into the water once you learned how to doggy paddle. And you swam. And then you were doing laps, and then you were Olympian with a gold medal. Great. Your methodology is different. You have a structure. People bring their chaos to you. You facilitate structure. That's the only difference we're talking about here. And that's why sometimes we don't see eye to eye. Your conversation or that happened in the cold plunge where you inspired the young lady, right? You inspired. That was great. Hey, you got to commit. You got to go all the way. Totally cool. When you brought up the cold plunge, I was actually thinking about a Korean spa in LA that I happened to go to. And if you don't know what a Korean spa is, it's not co-ed, it's separate, and you get a little towel about that big. That's about the size of your towel. And you run around naked, and they got hot tub. It's really like, it's a great idea when you're not getting unwanted attention. So I felt like a woman at the gym. I was getting some attention, and there was somebody who was a little aggressive, and I was just like, I'm not interested. This is not I'm just trying to. So what I did was I took refuge in the cold plunge. And now most people were doing the cold plunge, to your point, 3 minutes. Boy, I sat in there for 46 minutes, and I just watched the clock. And I watched this suitor that was unwanted walk back and forth, looking at the cold water, like, I'm not getting in. I'm like, I'm not getting out. And I sat in the water for 46 minutes. And not out of necessity, just to prove a point. Like, I'm stronger than this. I don't need to confront you. If I can do this and you can't, I got you. Right? The difference is I took the chaos of this engagement, I dropped it into structure, and I said, I'll go right back into the chaos. It's fine. Just know who I am. Just know you can't mess with me. I'm not scared of you. I've told you no a couple times. I'm going to go back in the cold plunge. So just a funny way to say, I inspired the removal of energy with the cold plunge.
And I'm with that.
So when we get into this, when we talk about purpose and one thing that I like to look at for people when I work with them is life begets life. What lets you feel most alive? If that's putting a ball into a basket, cool. If that's building systems for people to have financial freedom, great. If it's allowing people to have the tools to work inward and heal whatever stops they have in their belief system, then great. Right? There's no wrong way about it. And what excites you and excites me are similar and yet different in their own way. You with me on that? I think that's kind of where, if somebody doesn't, and this is what I really find interesting, if somebody's depressed, if somebody's like scattered, it's usually because they haven't taken the time to realize their gifts. The gifts are there. They're already there. It's already done. You already have them. And yet they haven't found that. They haven't noticed it. They haven't acknowledged it. They haven't accepted it. And because they haven't done that, they haven't learned to leverage it, to create from that gift. Does that make sense?
Yes. So let me ask you this. So what would you say, what would you say someone's gift is? How would someone recognize their gift? Inherently, just like easily, because I think this is what I think most people think. I think most people think that their gift is like being able to sing or some type of like actual talent, and not the person who's good at Excel spreadsheets, the person who is loves animals or has a sensitivity to animals, or someone who's funny, don't even recognize that they're funny yet, and like, or just somebody who loves tinkering with cars. Like I don't think people recognize their gifts all the time because they think that it has to be some grandiose thing, like they got to be able to run, jump, and sing really, really good in order for it to be a gift. But
You just said that.
Yeah, I did.
And that creates the problem.
Yeah.
Stop your thinking, stop your problems. That's really basic. If it comes to you easily, it creates excitement. Those are the two principles I would say. If your gift comes to you easily and it creates excitement, and the excitement may not be inside you. And I yield to that just because some people are not aware emotionally of their inner world, right? So they're like, oh, well, I did it. It's not a big deal. Well, it's not a big deal. It might be numb, right? But you light up the room. You light up the people that you connect with.
Yeah.
It's funny. Back to that Korean spa, there was like 4 or 5 people walked by. They're like, "How the hell are you in there for like that long?" It was like half hour. They're like, "How do you do that?" And equally, I inspired them to take 2, 3 minutes. I'm like, "Well, join me for a minute or two." And they got to 3, and I'm like, "Oh, I can't. I'm go in the hot tub." Cool, man. You
A second. So that person never just got in the. That person just stayed out the water the whole time. Didn't even put the toe into it. Oh man, that's a weird.
It was cold, man. It was like under 40. It was cold. The water was ice.
So you didn't get hypothermia. Listen, the thing about being in the cold water is that everything gets numb after a while. Like, and you feel it more. You feel it more when you get out. Like how numb your butthole is. Like it's really bad. Like I thought I had. No, seriously. Every time I get out, I think I got a wedgie because how numb I be. It's kind of weird, but yeah. Anywho,
Well, you have to remember, and this is a fun little fact. You ever stay in the tub long enough and you get like the pruning?
yeah.
Some evolutionary theorists say that that's so you can have grip underwater.
Yeah.
Now think about your entire body. Your epidermis, your whole skin, your outer layer here, is tightening to do what? To maintain as much heat as it can within the system. So it's the same thing at your fingers, but your whole body, and that's why it hurts because you're tight. But there is the issue with this whole conversation, whether we talk about gifts or purpose. When we get really tight, well, this is what it is, and this is the only thing it is, we kind of lose the forest for the trees. We lose our bigger vision.
So I think it's good. So I'm not doing that with gifts, right? But I am doing that with gift when it comes to the purpose of the gift, right? But it's the gift. I don't think gifts are linear, right? They come in different shapes, sizes, and the same thing with purpose. They come in different shapes, sizes, and all that stuff, right? But the ultimate purpose of the purpose is to be able to love and push people closer to the light at the end of the day. Now, how you do that? Now, that's not linear. Like that happens, and I want to make sure that that's clear because I don't want to think because a lot of times people think like, well, if I find my purpose, that means I need to be inside of a church and da 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 da. No, I was at a back to school event, right? And I have been talking to my wife. I'm like, okay, as we sell more of these game trucks and really go in the path of where we're trying to get to, I really need to find someone that's going to help us invest, right? And someone's that's going to be able to be at our side when it comes to investing and options and IRAs and all this stuff that I really don't care to get jiggy about because I got so many other things to think about, right? But I know I need it. I know it's necessary for our future, and I want to make sure that it's in place, but I don't have time to go really sit down and just learn. Because if I sit down and learn it, I'm going to lose everything else. We ain't going to be making no money because I'm going to be learning a whole new skill. So might as well pay somebody who's already engulfed in this and loves this and all that stuff. So it was like, it would just come to us one day. So I met a guy at this event, and we were just outside talking, and he was just like, man, he was actually volunteering for the back to school event, and we were just talking, man, and he was just, and he's like, man, during COVID, man, I picked up how to do stocks and options and bonds and all this stuff, man, and I said, dude, we need to talk. Like I've been looking, not necessarily fully looking, but kind of calling it in. Not physically looking, not physically asking anybody questions, but just energetically, I've just been calling it in, just like, man, I really want somebody to come and direct this path a little bit better for me. And and I'm just, but the point I'm trying to make is that in that moment, that became his purpose. I'm like, dude, have you thought about teaching people this? Like what you're talking about? And he's like, man, I've thought about it, man, but I don't know. So again, another moment of being able to inspire somebody, but then somebody also being able to come and help me as well. You get what I'm saying? And so the point I'm trying to make again is just it happens, and it can happen anywhere, anytime, but we don't recognize it all the time that the thing that we're good at, that we're just naturally good at, is the very thing that he's almost getting ready to bury from the talent. He's getting ready to bury it, and I'm just like, dude, don't bury that. Don't bury that. Like, there's something that there's some gold there, that's gonna not only, and this is a part of like your purpose and your gift operating separately and but simultaneously. And so the gift would be obviously the fact that he knows how to do stocks and bonds, so he can make money, right? Investing. But then the purpose behind that, and which he could do for free, and that's why I say the purpose doesn't pay you at all. It doesn't pay you. Your gift is the only thing that pays you. Purpose doesn't pay you, because you can legit do purpose for free and be extremely fulfilled. Purpose does not require payment. It doesn't require payment outside of the fulfilling part that you get just from, like, talking to those guys on the trailer about business. That and also giving them scripture and what the Bible is saying about business and everything. That right there was extremely fulfilling. I didn't get into the house till 1 o'clock in the morning. I had to stop myself. I'm like, okay, Ralph, it's time to stop. Like, we can't keep going. Like, we got to go to bed now, right? You got to get up. We got to get the kids to school in the morning. We got to go to bed. But it was so fulfilling. It was so. I didn't feel like, man, I didn't get no money for this. Like, but with the game truck, if you want me to come out for your game truck, it's gonna cost, buddy. I'm not about to just come out and do that for free. It's just not happening. Unless something's put on my heart to give that away for whatever reason, the game truck, which is my gift, it costs for that to operate. But the purpose behind it is free. The fact that you get to the smiles, the ability to make someone feel a certain way, all that is free. Because I don't have to make you feel anything when you come. I'm just giving you your product. But
hold on a second. Hold on. So what happens? How many events do you book a month on average?
Anywhere between 20 and 30 book events.
Okay. So my question is, could you do 2 to 3 more a month that are free? Could you? Could you afford to do 2 or 3 events for free?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I can give an event for free as long as you're not on my busy day. Yeah, for sure. I could give it during the week. Yeah.
Well, the reason I bring this up is, the idea of tithing and giving back.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you're giving back to the unfortunate or the underprivileged or people who don't have. Great. That's one. You're bringing joy to a community. Fine. Equally, what if, and I'm just playing this out, what if you got in bed with somebody who had capacity to get loans, right? So now you're selling a business product, right? Business is not my forte, business and finance. I have a vision for you. What if you said, and you had it on your truck, ask us about franchise, right? So now there's a loan that comes online from a bank that you have a relationship with, who this person has to come up with, 10, 20, 30%, whatever the down payment is, to get the ball rolling on this so that the bank finances it. You're not liable. The bank is dealing with the person, right? Mm-hmm. And now the person who may have only had X amount of dollars now has a game truck that they could produce just as much, if not a whole lot more, for their family and their community. Mm-hmm. And all you did was free marketing. By going and inspiring people. Oh my God, I've never seen kids have so much fun. Oh my God, it takes me back to when I was a kid and my brother was playing video games and blah, blah, blah. This is that indirect methodology I was talking about. You don't know who you're going to affect and where. And yet the intent, not intention, the intent is to give love, to support, to create the structure, to bring it forward to people's reality and say, hey, this is a possibility. It's a very different approach. Does that make sense?
It is.
When you talk about I'm not giving it away for free, you're coming from lack. When you say I'm giving people,
okay, explain that to me. Why you feel like I'm not giving away for free? I'm coming from lack. Why you say that?
When you're saying I can't give it away for free,
I didn't say I couldn't. I just say I'm not.
Okay.
I can. It isn't. That's the beautiful part about this business is that, and this is the thing too. I help out. But that's the thing too. I'm in business for profit. I'm not in business for. We do have a schedule of our give back opportunities for sure. In the schools that we do go help out for sure, 1,000%. And so we
Profit to what end? That's the bottom line. That I'm looking way out here 10, 20, 30, 50 years down the road. You're an old man with a cane. To what end? Is it that you inspired the hearts of many? Is it that you brought joy to people? Was it just because you wanted to live in a castle, so you moved to Scotland? I don't know. Whatever. I'm just exampling out. And this is why I asked initially, how big is your family? Because the bigger that family is, this goal isn't just money.
No, it's not just money, and this is the reason why we create the franchise. And so that we give an opportunity to other. Otherwise, I can go get a loan and go get another truck and start washing it to where we got 10, 15 trucks corporately. And we can go do that for every in every state. We can do that easily. That's not what I want. I want the C4 is literally my 4 children, and that's their name. That's their letters of their. It's the first letter of their name, right? So this idea is behind a family-driven idea, okay? And I wanted to create something that other families has an opportunity to be a part of and change their family's financial situation, whether it's adding to what they got or completely changing what they got, or just being able to spend time with their children and their wives or whatever it may be, or cousins or whatever it may be in a business. That's a simple operation, right? And so that's the whole idea, man. When I go talk to somebody, I'm like, dude, who's gonna be operating with you? I want to assure that it's family that's operating with you, or at least someone that's like family with you that's operating with you. I want this to be so close knit that it's not about the guy with a whole bunch of money just buying a bunch of trucks and just hiring people to come operate it. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a wife and a husband. I'm looking for a dad who wants to be able to spend time with their kids on a Saturday and teach them the value of work and make good money doing it. I want this to be a wife and a husband who started this with the idea that, man, our children can take this over one day, and we got a couple of these things. That's what this is about, and that it all started from me just playing Call of Duty every night with my kids before we went to bed. You get what I'm saying? And so that's what this is all about. Yes, it is for profit, but it's also the purpose of the franchise is to be able to deliver something to families that they can operate in and either, again, increase their financial ability or change their financial situation as a whole, and have an investment into a business situation and entrepreneurship that they probably wouldn't have had. That probably would have took them away from their family at one point. But this now it can include everyone. My sons come work with me. They get paid too much money now. I just looked at how much money I just like, geez, oh, peace. Now we got to set up a whole savings account for it. Anywho.
I know enough, don't worry.
Right, exactly. So, it's beautiful when my sons are getting on there and they're working and they're with me. Like that's a beautiful thing, man. And so all my other business, they didn't have no other opportunity to be with me. They didn't have that opportunity. So I've seen the other side of that too. And so and then on top of that, because it makes good money on a week, you can be home during the week. I mean, on the weekends, you can be home during the week with your family if you want to. You can keep your job, whatever you want to do, but you got the ability to, if you need to crawl back, push back a little bit your hours at work so you can be home with your family a little bit more. You have that ability to do that. I'm trying to create. I don't think people understand how important their presence is at home. And I know a lot of times we allow our finances and pressures of life to pull us back from being most present at home. This gives families an opportunity to do that.
Sales pitch complete.
Sales pitch complete.
Can I tell you something funny?
Oh God, here we go.
I love your vision, and I feel like you could open your heart more. Maybe it is that you go down the corporate path and you kind of create a bank system and you have 15 trucks in 20 different cities. Maybe it is that you inspire more people faster and bigger that way. Yet, can you trust without the need for control? That's the only question I have for you.
Okay,
Without the need for control, can you open your heart more?
and what does that mean? Control what?
How long have you been in business?
This particular one or total?
No, this business, this one.
A year and a half.
Okay. What is your goal in 5, 10, whatever the goal and the length of time is?
The goal is in 5 years. The goal is in 5 years to be able to exit the company, and
How many trucks out there?
500.
Okay. What if that happened in 1 year?
So be
It
it.
happened in 1 year?
It could.
Not 1 year.
It could.
Well, what's stopping that?
Nothing.
Okay. Could it happen in 6 months?
It could.
Okay. What's stopping that?
Nothing. Nothing's stopping it.
Okay. So there's some, I mean, I'm just asking, why is it taking 5 years?
So it's not that it's so I'm not the thing about 5 years is just that this is within the scope of what we're trying to do, and this is what it looks like. Could it happen faster? Dude, I'm open to it happening tomorrow.
Okay. I'm just playing with you. I'm just playing.
No, seriously, and I'm gonna give you this example. So when we moved back to Detroit after we left Atlanta the first time. I gave RWD a 2-year growth plan. Dude, that growth plan happened in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm open to that. I'm open to it happening whatever way it's going to happen. I don't have a necessarily time constraint. I just have to have as a person leading people. I have to give some type of time constraint with the understanding that God can do whatever He want to do. If He decides that it takes 6 years, then it's 6 years. If He said He wanted to do in 3 years, it's gonna happen in 3 years. I'm just preparing our foundation for whatever may happen, when it may happen, that we will be ready for it as much as we can be. I know we ain't gonna be perfect. I know all those things, and I wasn't even ready for the first game truck that we got, our first franchise that came on. Dude, I was going through getting all types of agreements done as quick as possible because of how fast it was going. I'm open to Godspeed at all times. But I do get as a normal situation and being in business, I do give a time of how I want, of not how I want, but what I believe certain things can get done, and then after that, I give it to God.
Okay. So what I hear is, I am doing what is normal and what feels safe, rather than shooting for extraordinary and then letting the pieces fall where they may. That's what I'm hearing. I could be wrong. I could be totally off.
Yeah, I'm not shooting for what's ordinary because I don't know what's ordinary in a scenario like this. I don't know if
5 years is pretty ordinary. Why is it not 6 months? Why did we not start this and say, hey, in 6 months, 500 trucks?
Well, because
Go ahead.
because I'm not saying I'm not open to that. I think that's because then I don't. This is what I don't like to do. I like to give God space to do what He gonna do. I don't pressure God to do something for me in 6 months. That's not what I do to God. I look at a scenario with the data that we got and say, hey, this is what we have, and I'm okay with this timeline. But if God decides that he gonna do it faster, let's go. If God decides that he's going to allow the opportunity to happen slower, that means we got an opportunity to work on things, get more things in line, get things better. I'm open to however God does it. He can do that. He can do something. He can do something crazy by February. That's gonna blow my mind. And honestly, I do believe he's gonna do something crazy by February. That is a timeline that I've been given. I don't know what that is, and that's why I say 500 trucks as a whole over 5 years, because it could happen by February. I don't know, my man. I'm not fully that concerned. I'm just going with the growth of the company. As we grow, man, this is a beautiful scenario. Dude, we were having a conversation with my operations manager yesterday. That's helping me with this company on the franchise side. And I always pray before we go into our meeting. And the thing that I pray again, that I just said, God, I thank you that you're not apart from this business, but that you are part of the business, and that you have a seat at the table of our decision making when it comes to this business. I'm not trying to control the timeline. I'm just putting one there. I'm not doing it out of fear. I'm not doing it out of like fear that it can't be done quicker. I'm just putting one there just for shit's sake, to be, if we had to put.
And yet, what if it was out of excitement? What if it was out of joy? What if it was out of praise instead of fear?
It is out of praise. It is out of excitement. It is. It's not out of fear. I don't think that it can't happen quicker.
Yeah, I'm just.
Oh,
remember the other day.
one thing about me is because I done seen God do some really crazy things and some really beautiful things in my life.
One thing I don't do is put dates down. I put what I want to happen in this particular year, and we learned this because one year, me and my wife, we had on our 1 year we did something crazy where we on our whiteboard we put all these different things. We put dates and stuff like that. One of the things was a car. We wanted a car by April. That car came in February. Okay, we wanted the new stroller by July because the baby was being born in September. We got the thing like in something like around the time like April or something like that. It just stumbled upon. We got it. So we said, what are we doing? Let's stop putting dates down. Let's just put what we want down and we go from there. Our house, dude. I can't even do it. The story about our house is just really crazy. It's a really crazy story. It's a real blessing. If I told the story, most people don't even believe that it happened the way it happened anyway, but I don't care. That was a beautiful way how that happened. And it was exactly how God told me it was going to happen. I cried when it happened because he told me exactly verbatim words. I told my wife before it happened, these are the words that God told me. And we're going to go with it. And I said, all we got to do is just say, okay. She said, okay. I said, okay. And we moved on. Next thing you know, it happened the exact way. I'm in the house talking to my aunt, crying because it happened. I had to go walk around the neighborhood like 3 or 4 times because I couldn't believe how verbatim this was. And so all I'm saying is I'm never put anything past what God can do. I'm never putting anything past the ability for him to work his work. All I'm doing is preparing a space. And that's what it is. I'm just preparing a space. He told me to take a month to get all my documentation together, all the presentation stuff together. That's what I'm doing. I don't know what's going to happen going forward. I have another meeting today at 12 o'clock for another game truck. I don't know. I'm open. There's no fear.
That's it. Hold on. I love you. And that's actually what I wanted to get to is I don't know. I would like to exit at 500. Hell, I might stay on to 1,000 if it gets exciting. Like, I don't know why that hand had to pop up when you were talking. I was kind of like, let me talk to it, but wasn't mine. That's the beauty of it, right? You will get messages. You will be given. So to circle all the way back to the beginning of this call and about gifts and purpose. You may be unaware of your gift. You may be unaware of your purpose. If you examine your life, if you see what excites the people around you, if you look at what's easy, there's probably an overlap there where something's really easy and it excites you and the people around you. Really basic. And how that's going to come to fruition, where that's going to be applicable, what's going to happen, your purpose is unknown to you more often than not until after the fact. It's like the end of a movie. You're like, oh shit, that just happened, right? You watch the whole thing. You might be, I don't know if you've seen those type of movies where you get to the end, you're like, oh shit, it all makes sense now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Fight Club where he's just fighting himself, right? Oh shit, okay. Sorry if I ruined that for anybody. It's a little old. But that's the beauty of it. I agree that you're not fighting yourself. I appreciate you getting to I don't know and equally being open to that realm that it might be bigger than I can imagine. It might be faster than I can imagine. And that's the whole concept of moving beyond belief and getting to know. Do I know that I've gotten messages, that things are happening for me, that I was incarnated in this body with certain gifts that I may or may not know? Absolutely. Absolutely. My vision today of what I'm doing in the world is vastly different than it was a year ago, 6 months ago, even 5 years ago, right? Like, hell, maybe even a month ago to now is different. And yet the beauty of that is when I energize it with the excitement and with the joy, the path unfolds for me. You know, it's that whole saying that like what is it? The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. One step is just that. Follow your excitement. That's one of my teachers used to say, and he still says it. It's like, just follow your excitement. Do it till you can't do it anymore. Right? In my current situation, I'm not taking on any more one-on-one clients. I'm full, right? I can't. It's not that I can't. It's just my energy is better suited over here with this project that we're doing, right? So my purpose is shifted. I love doing this. And yet imagine the impact of, instead of 5 people, we do 5,000 people, 5 million people, right? That's more exciting to me.
Yeah.
So coming back to you and your game truck, okay, well, exiting is exciting to you. To what end? Well, whatever is exciting after that, and whatever's bigger and better. You get what I'm saying? Life wants to expand.
1,000%.
So that's all I was trying to get at. I wasn't trying to say, oh, you're afraid or what. It's when we think we create all these problems, or we create all these issues, we create these constraints, instead of just being in our body and being alive and feeling the joy.
1,000.
Radiating in what we do that comes naturally and easy.
Yeah. 1,000%. You're 100% correct. I enjoy what I do, and I pray that somebody else finds their enjoyment in what they do and what they're growing. There's beauty in building. There's beauty. I know I'm gonna look back at this time and say, man, it was so crazy and beautiful in this building process. And then us exiting that in whatever time, if it's less than 5 years, cool, whatever it is, it's going to be a beauty, because this is what was from the beginning, and being able to build something that does something like that is going to be amazing. And then we go off to build something new, something else, and we see that grow, and we see that prosper, and we see what the lives that are affected and changed by whatever else next that we do. But what always remain the same as well is just it's the place of just helping people, finding a way to help people, finding a way to help somebody's life change. That's the goal. That's the purpose, and we're going to always do that. Everything that I've done has always been towards the service of people. And it takes me back to a scripture of James 4:2, and basically it says, "You have none because you ask none, because you go and spend it on your selfish pleasures, basically." And all that said to me was just basically, man, was that our issue as a whole is that we're so selfish and so endowed that we just got to we're just doing stuff just for our own pleasure. Even if we do go help somebody, it's like, it's for me to help you. No, I genuinely want to help. I genuinely want to make things better. Is it always free? No, it's not always free, but there are times it will be free, and some things are going to cost, and that's okay. And which it should, you get what I'm saying? And I'm not afraid of that too. Some people are afraid to charge. They know their gift, but they're afraid to charge for their gift because it came free to them. You know, It came easy, so they don't know how to monetize. Yeah, they don't
Value. That's it. Yeah, they don't value it.
Yeah, they don't value it, so you don't place value on it. I do. I'm one of those people who know it. I know it. I walk in it, and I'm okay. And I'm okay with it, man. And all I'm saying is, dude, I'm just really really excited. I'm these moments like this, and I'm excited about being able to get on platforms and just talk about stuff like this. I'm excited to be able to share because I know somebody's gonna. If one person looks at this and be like, "Dang, I have been undervaluing myself. Dang, I didn't even realize that really is my purpose. Let me fully walk. Let me find the confidence to fully walk in that. Let me find the confidence just to accept that mentally. Like that's worth this hour and a half or however long we've been talking. It's worth every bit of it. It's gonna be worth the hour or 2 hours I'm gonna take to edit this video down and matching up, syncing up sounds and all the things I'm gonna do with this video. That and getting clips and all that stuff that we gonna do. I'm excited about that. That brings a lot of joy to my heart because somebody's life, even if it's just one, that's gonna be the difference, and that's gonna be worth it for me.
I mean, look, there's the beauty of what you just said is powerful. That again, if you find it easy, you find it excitable, and you learn to value it, and value it so much so that you eventually charge for it. It's all good.
It's all good. Your gift shall make room for you and put you in a room with kings and queens and great men and women. That was an episode of Focusing on the Soul of the Entrepreneur. I'm your host, Ralph Walker, and again, Zayn, thank you, brother. Peace.